Block 1. Introduction. The world of stress. Stress is everywhere. It can come from exams, work deadlines, money problems, or even family arguments. Sometimes it feels like life is moving too fast and we cannot catch up. Our heart beats faster, our breathing changes, and suddenly we feel out of control. But stress itself is not always the enemy. Thousands of years ago, stress helped humans survive when facing real danger like a wild animal. Today, the wild animal has changed into modern problems: traffic, emails, responsibilities. Our brain reacts the same way, even if there is no real danger. The important truth is this: stress is not the situation itself. Stress is our reaction to the situation. Two people can face the same problem, one panics, the other stays calm. What makes the difference? The ability to control the reaction. This lesson is about learning that control. Step by step, we will explore simple ways to stay calm, think clearly, and protect both mind and body in stressful moments. Block 2. Understand what stress really is to stay calm in stressful situations. The first step is to truly understand what stress is. Most people think stress comes from outside, from their boss, from exams, from money problems, or from relationships. But in reality, stress is not only about the situation itself, it is about how your mind and body react to that situation. Imagine this. Two people are waiting for the same job interview. Both have the same qualifications. One of them is sweating, shaking, and thinking, "I will fail. I am not good enough." The other one is nervous too, but he takes deep breaths, tells himself, "I have prepared, I will do my best," and walks into the room with calmness. The situation is the same. The stress is different. Why? Because stress depends on the story we tell ourselves. The science of stress. Stress is your body's ancient survival system. Thousands of years ago, when humans lived in nature, danger was everywhere. A tiger could attack, or another tribe could come to fight. To survive, the human body developed a system called the fight-or-flight response. When the brain detects danger, it sends signals to the body. The heart beats faster. Breathing becomes quicker. Muscles become tense, ready to move. The brain focuses on the threat. All of this happens in seconds. It is the body's way of saying, "Be ready to fight or run." Now, in the modern world, you do not face tigers every day. But your brain does not know the difference between a tiger and an angry boss, between a dangerous animal and an important exam. Your brain reacts the same way. This is why your hands sweat before speaking in public, or why your heart races when you receive a stressful email. Good stress versus bad stress. It is important to understand that stress is not always bad. Scientists call short-term, motivating stress, eustress. This type of stress helps you focus, gives you energy, and pushes you to perform better. For example, athletes before a big game feel stress, but they use it to run faster. Students before an exam feel stress, but it helps them concentrate. A soldier before a mission feels stress, but it sharpens his senses. This kind of stress can be useful. The problem is when stress does not stop. When the exam is finished, or the mission is over, the stress should go away. But in modern life, many people keep stress every day, from traffic, from bills, from constant phone notifications. This long-term stress is called distress. It is harmful. It makes you tired, angry, and weak. Over time, it can damage your health. It raises blood pressure. It weakens the immune system. It can cause headaches, stomach problems, or even heart disease. It affects the brain, making it harder to focus, remember, or make decisions. Why people react differently. You may wonder, why do some people stay calm while others panic? The answer is not the situation, but the interpretation. Think about this. You're stuck in traffic. One driver is shouting, hitting the steering wheel, and becoming more and more angry. Another driver is listening to music, accepting that he cannot change the traffic, and even enjoying the time alone. The traffic is the same. The reaction is different. This shows that stress is not outside, it is inside. It is the story you tell yourself. If you tell yourself, "This is terrible, I can't handle it," your body reacts with panic. If you tell yourself, I can't control the traffic, but I can control my reaction, your body starts to relax. A personal story example. Imagine a young student named Anna. She is preparing for a big university exam. Every day she tells herself, if I fail, my life is over. My parents will be disappointed. I will never succeed. Her body reacts. She cannot sleep. Her stomach hurts. Her hands shake. By the time she enters the exam room, her mind is so stressed that she forgets everything she studied. Now imagine another student, David. He also feels nervous, but he says to himself, this exam is important, but it is not the end of the world. I will do my best, and that is enough. He studies calmly, sleeps well, and walks into the exam room with clear focus. Even if he makes mistakes, his calmness helps him remember more and perform better. Both students had the same exam, but one allowed stress to control her. The other controlled the stress. The key lesson. Here's the main truth. Stress is not about what happens to you, but how you respond to it. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the economy. You cannot always control what other people say or do, but you can always control your reaction. When you understand this, you realize something powerful. Stress is not destiny. It is a signal. It is your choice how to respond. Calmness begins when you stop blaming the situation and start taking responsibility for your reaction. Block 3. The power of breathing. When stress hits, the first part of the body to change is your breath. Breathing is the invisible bridge between your body and your mind. You may not notice it, but the way you breathe controls the way you feel. In moments of panic, your breath becomes short, shallow, and fast. This tells the brain, we are in danger. And your brain responds with more fear, more stress, more panic. But there is good news. You can reverse this process. If you slow down your breath, you can send the opposite signal to the brain. We are safe. We can relax. And the brain listens. Your heartbeat slows, your muscles release tension, and your thoughts become clearer. This is not just theory. Modern science shows that slow, controlled breathing directly affects the nervous system. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for calmness, rest, and recovery. In simple words, slow breathing is nature's built-in medicine against stress. Try this exercise right now. Sit comfortably. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Feel your stomach, not your chest, rise. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale gently through your mouth for 6 seconds. Pause for 2 seconds before the next inhale. Repeat this cycle at least 5 times. This is called the 4-4-6-2 breathing technique. After only 1 or 2 minutes, your mind will feel clearer. Breathing also helps you focus. When your mind is full of racing thoughts, you can use your breath as an anchor. Instead of fighting the thoughts, just notice, inhale, exhale. Step by step, your attention returns to the present moment. Let's imagine a real example. A firefighter enters a burning building. The air is hot, smoke is everywhere, and his mind is shouting, danger. If he panics, he cannot save anyone. But instead, he uses his training. He breathes slowly inside his mask, controls his movements, and keeps his focus. This calm breathing saves lives. You may not be a firefighter, but your daily life also has fires, angry conversations, deadlines, or unexpected problems. In these moments, the first thing to do is not to shout, not to run, not to panic. The first thing is always breathe. Block 4. Change the story in your mind. Stress is not only physical, it is also mental. Very often, it is not the situation itself, but the story we tell ourselves that creates panic. For example, you think, if I fail this exam, my life is over. Or, if I lose this job, I will never find another. Or, this mistake will destroy everything. These thoughts make the situation feel like a disaster, even when it is not. Here is the secret. Your thoughts are not facts. They are stories. And you can change the story. Instead of saying, I will fail the exam, say, I will do my best. One exam does not define my whole life. Instead of, my boss will fire me, say, I will learn from this mistake and improve next time. Instead of, this is too much, I can't handle it, say, I will take it step by step. I am stronger than I feel right now. This is called cognitive reframing, a powerful psychological tool. It does not mean lying to yourself. It means choosing a more helpful perspective. Imagine two mountain climbers facing the same steep hill. One says, this hill is impossible, I will never make it. The other says, this hill is hard, but each step takes me closer to the top. Which climber will succeed? The one who changes his story. Here's a daily practice. When you notice a stressful thought, pause and ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? Is there another way to look at this situation? What would I tell a friend if he was in the same position? Often, the answer will show you that your story is not the only one. You can choose a calmer, stronger story. A student once told me she always said, I am terrible at speaking English. This thought made her afraid of practice. But when she changed the story to, I am learning English and every mistake helps me grow, she started speaking more. Her progress became faster and her fear disappeared. Your story creates your emotions. Your emotions create your actions. If you change the story, you change your life. Block 5. Focus on what you can control. Stress becomes unbearable when we try to control everything. But the truth is no one can control everything. Weather changes. People make decisions you don't like. Accidents happen. The key to staying calm is learning to separate what you can control from what you cannot. Imagine holding two baskets. The first basket is things I cannot control. Inside it, you place the rain, the economy, your boss's mood, or traffic jams. The second basket is things I can control. Inside it, you place your reaction, your preparation, your words, and your choices. When you focus on the first basket, you feel helpless. But when you focus on the second basket, you feel powerful. Here's a simple example. You are late for work because of heavy traffic. You cannot control the traffic. Shouting or honking won't make cars move faster. But you can control your attitude. You can listen to an audiobook, call a friend hands-free, or simply practice deep breathing. Suddenly, the stress turns into an opportunity. Great leaders and successful people know this rule. They don't waste energy on what they cannot change. Instead, they focus on their next step, their next decision, their next action. This focus is what makes them calm under pressure. Block 6. The role of the body. Stress doesn't live only in the mind. It lives in the body. Your shoulders tighten, your jaw locks, your stomach twists, and your heartbeat races. This physical tension sends a message to your brain. We are in danger. The brain believes it, and the stress grows stronger. But you can break the cycle. Relax your body, and the mind will follow. Try this. Roll your shoulders backward 5 times. Stretch your neck slowly left and right. Open your hands wide, then shake them gently. Smile, even if you don't feel like it. Science shows that even a fake smile can release chemicals in the brain that make you feel calmer. Posture also matters. When you sit tall with your chest open, your brain receives the signal, I am strong. I am safe. This is why soldiers, athletes, and performers train not only the mind, but also the body. Calm body, calm mind. Block 7. A real-life example. Stories make lessons real. Let's compare two people in the same stressful situation. Maria and Alex are both employees at a company. One morning, they hear that their manager wants an urgent report in 2 hours. Maria panics. She complains to her colleagues, her hands shake, and she loses time worrying. By the deadline, her report is incomplete, and the stress makes her feel exhausted. Alex feels the same pressure, but he reacts differently. He takes one deep breath, tells himself, I can't change the deadline, but I can control my focus, and starts working step by step. He ignores distractions, writes the most important points first, and delivers a clear report. He feels tired, yes, but calm. The situation was identical. The outcome was not. This shows that calmness is not luck, it is a skill. Block 8. Create your calm routine. Calmness does not appear magically. It is built daily, like a muscle. If you train your mind regularly, you will be ready when stress comes. Here are 3 habits to practice. Morning breathing. Spend 5 minutes every morning on slow, deep breaths. This sets a calm tone for the day. Gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you are thankful for every evening. Gratitude reduces stress and shifts your focus from problems to blessings. Evening reflection. Before sleep, ask yourself, what went well today? This teaches your mind to see progress, not only mistakes. Add small rituals, stretching, meditation, a walk without your phone, or drinking tea mindfully. These habits teach your brain, calmness is my normal state. Then, when real stress appears, your mind will know what to do. Block 9. Conclusion. Calmness is strength. Stress will never disappear from life. Exams, problems, deadlines, and conflicts will always come. But your reaction can change everything. When you breathe slowly, change your inner story, focus on what you can control, relax your body, and practice daily calmness, you transform stress from an enemy into a teacher. Calmness is not weakness. It is strength. It allows you to think clearly, act wisely, and protect your health. In fact, calmness is one of the most powerful weapons a person can have in a world full of pressure. So the next time life feels overwhelming, remember this: stress is a signal, not destiny. You cannot always control the world, but you can always control your reaction. Calmness is not a gift you are born with, it is a skill you can train. The world outside may be chaotic, but inside you can always find peace.